Curious how you could potentially make $48,000 a month or even $500,000 a year with junk removal? Today, we're talking to Matt and JoJo from Sonoma Strong Calling and Junk Removal, who are experts in the junk removal business. We're going to see how much profit you could potentially make with the junk removal as a side hustle, tips and tricks, and what is needed for you to start making money from junk today. Now, let's jump right into the interview. All right, awesome. We're jumping into the interview right here, and we have Matt and JoJo, and they're going to help us answer all of our questions and help us learn more about junk removal. So diving right into it, the first question we have is, how long have you guys been doing this for?
So we've been in the business for 4.5 years out here in Sonoma County, the Bay Area, Northern California, and it's really treated us really good, the business. So yeah, 4 years.
Yeah, I feel like we kind of went a long ways in 4 years, a short amount of time.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll kind of talk about your experience too and all your tips and advice, because I'm sure you guys have quite a bit. But did you guys have any previous experience with junk removal before starting your business, or did you dive right into it?
We had no idea how much money there was in the business. We kind of just dove in and watched some YouTube videos about the business. And really, I was working a dead-end job. I just wanted to make an extra couple grand a month, and we had no idea how much money there really was in the trash business. So we had no idea.
Yeah, we had no idea. And when he first, when we first started, he wanted to, like he said, just make a little bit of extra money just to get ahead, because you can't really get ahead when you're working at Safeway. You're making ends meet at Safeway, but you're not getting ahead. So yeah, I remember him saying, I asked him, what's your goal? What do you want to do? And he was like, just a couple extra grand a month, just to get ahead. And I remember thinking, well, that's kind of a lot of money for picking up trash.
Yeah, definitely. So it started off as a side hustle, but then you guys really expanded it to a full-time business. Is that correct then?
So yeah, I was working at a grocery store called Safeway out here in California. And I wasn't making that much money there, so I wanted to start a business, which I thought, you know what, I could buy a pickup truck and start this business on the side as a side hustle. So I was working 2 jobs. I was doing the grocery store during the day and getting off work and picking up trash after work. And I did that for a whole year through the 4 seasons. And from there, we just went full time doing junk removal.
Yeah, he really worked his butt off when he first started, because it was a side hustle and he was working nights at Safeway. So when he would get off at 8 o'clock in the morning, he was, putting his trailer on the back of the truck and he was doing junk removal jobs until it was time to go to bed. So he definitely put in his time.
Yeah, sounds like you guys really grinded. I would like to take a minute to thank today's sponsor, Webull. Trade stocks, ETFs, options, all with $0 commission with Webull. I personally use it to use the charts, tools, and insights you can see about your investments that other trading apps just don't provide. Plus, you can earn up to 5% APY with your idle money. Use the link down below to receive up to 12 free stocks with a deposit of $100. Thank you again to Webull, and let's get back to the side hustle interview. What made you decide to go with junk removal besides instead of the other side hustles out there?
Really, the overhead to start it was real cheap. You can jump in the business, just buy a pickup truck, and pretty much that's it. And you can start the business, start posting ads on Craigslist, and get instant work and get paid the same day.
Yeah, it's a really easy business to start. You have to, as far as money goes, you can start making money without really putting much into it. But you definitely, to get your phone to ring, you gotta hustle and you gotta put some work into that for sure.
Definitely. And I guess kind of going off that, what do you need in order to get started?
So pretty much all you need to get started is a pickup truck or a van, a dolly, a sledgehammer, and pretty much a broom and a snow shovel. And you can get started today.
Yeah, you really don't have to buy much equipment right away. And what's really great is a lot of the tools you need, you'll find at jobs. They just kind of come your way and you get the tools that you need. But we know people that started this business without a truck. There's other people that are really successful right now that just lined their jobs up for the same day, and they rented a U-Haul, and they just got all their jobs done that way. Or, they had another vehicle and they just got a little trailer and they just, and the secret with that is you can start with whatever you have, but you have to reinvest and eventually end up using, a truck or the right tools.
Yeah, so it sounds like you'd be real creative about how you start and kind of bootstrap it. Like you're saying, like a U-Haul. Say if, like, for example, I don't have a truck, but I want to test to see if in my area how much money I could potentially make. I can maybe, use a U-Haul, you're saying, for a couple of weeks or a month, and then see how much money, and then decide maybe to make the investment for a truck.
Yep.
Wow, all right. And then what about like equipment-wise, if you had to cost out like the dolly, shovel, say everything besides like a truck, how much do you think that would cost?
So pretty much, so let's say all the tools I got in my dump truck right now is a dolly that will run you about $150 for a good dolly, a nice drill set, which will run you $150, a sawzall, a skill saw. You can get all those at Home Depot, spend a couple $100. And then pretty much some tarps, some trash cans, which you can go to Harbor Freight and get those super cheap, or like the JoJo said, you get them off the job. And then pretty much those are all the tools that you really need besides little wrenches and stuff like that, and maybe a sledgehammer. But there's not a whole lot of tools you need. The main thing is really a dolly and a go-getter mentality to get the job done.
That's great to hear. It sounds like, yeah, basically anyone that really wants to get after this could be successful in this side hustle then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What about, what's your typical clients? Like, who is typically calling you, and then what kind of junk are you removing for your clients?
I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah, we get all kinds of jobs. I would say residential is definitely the most calls we get. We do get commercial jobs. Often it's like cleaning out a garage or construction debris. We get like all kinds of phone calls for all kinds of things. Sometimes it's hoarder houses, realtors that are cleaning up properties before they put a house on the market. So, but our most phone calls, I would probably say, are like mattresses
and couches. And something else too, some of the jobs we go to are just filthy, nasty, with like rat droppings, illegal dumping with syringes, piss everywhere, human feces. Sometimes the jobs are horrible, but they pay really good money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say realtors, property managers, and a lot of our repeat customers that just keep calling us up is where we get most of our business from.
Yep.
Would you say the nastier the job, the more, usually the higher paying it is for it then?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So the nastier the job is, the more money you can charge. Because a lot of people don't want to do those nasty, filthy jobs. Say a hoarder house, and there's a bunch of diapers inside the closet that's been sitting in there for a couple of years, or a bathtub full of nasty tampons. Like, who wants to really do that? You got to charge extra money to get it done. You got to make it worth your time.
These are real scenarios, by the way.
Yeah, these are real scenarios, too, just so you know.
Man, I cannot even imagine what that had to smell like. What about then, where do you find your customers? It sounds like a lot of them are repeat customers, but say you're someone that's just getting started, how do you find your initial batch of customers?
So the first thing you want to do is get on Google My Business, and you want to post on Craigslist. You want to post on Facebook, have a Facebook business page. And for us as a junk removal company, we add a lot of realtors onto our Facebook business page and really advertise on Facebook, doing boosts, and also posting in yard sale groups, market sale groups in our area. You can pass out business cards to like contractors, stop by the real estate offices and drop off candy dishes with some flyers of your business, and also really put up bandit signs and guerrilla market your truck if you have a truck with decals parking in busy intersections. So there's so many ways you can get business. You just got to put in the work.
Yeah, one of the things we did from the very beginning, and we didn't even realize how impactful it was and how a great way to start it was, but we really hit all the social media really, really hard, and in posting and just staying in front all the time, every day, of potential customers. And in doing that so much in the beginning, we really are able to, we've never done Google Ads. We don't spend a ton of money in our advertising because we were so good in the very beginning with social media and getting our name out there, and always like letting people know our website and leaving the link to our website everywhere, that we just grew organically and have a really good search. People can find us really easy. So
yeah, I was gonna say, sounds like most of it is free advertisement, but yeah, you basically confirmed it. Basically all of it is. I think it goes back to what you mentioned earlier, that it's about hustle. It's about, putting the time and energy out there to really grow the business.
Exactly.
So say now you're someone that is advertising and someone reaches out and they're asking how much do you charge for your services. How do you go about bidding that project?
So most of the time, if they're close by, what we want to do is show up to the job and give an in-person quote, because we'll land more jobs that way. But if the job's farther out, maybe 30 minutes away or 40-minute drive, of course, we don't want to drive out there and give a quote. We'll have them send pictures at different angles of the stuff that they need gone. And then I'll give them a roundabout price. I won't give them a firm price. I'll be like, it'll be around $400 to $500. So that's how we do it.
yeah, it's good. It is good to give a roundabout price because pictures are very misleading. So we often tell people, don't give like a firm price over the phone through pictures, because sometimes a pile looks small and you get there and it's really big, or it's in a hole, or there's tile under stuff that you didn't see, and then you end up like really underbidding your job. So
And something else we always do too, when the customer calls, we always ask, how close can we pull up to the pile? That's real important. Also, is it upstairs, downstairs? Where's the stuff located at?
Yeah, that's a great tip, because you're gonna have to put in, say, double or triple the amount of effort if it's somewhere far away.
yeah.
So that's a great tip. What about, so it seems like you need some kind of visual of it. Do you ever just take a phone call? Because I feel like a lot of people would be like, yeah, it's not that bad. There's only a small junk pile. Is it, your policy that you always have to see it in person or receive pictures to give out a bid then?
So, like we said, through pictures, we'll say, we'll give them a roundabout price. And then when we get there and see it in person, we give them the full price, like the firm price. But yeah, through pictures, it's just, no, not a firm.
And something happened yesterday. We went to go do a job. The lady said it wasn't that much stuff. And when we got there, it ended up being 2 full loads instead of like a half a load. So that's how the junk removal business is. Sometimes you show up to a job and it's a whole lot bigger than the person thought on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that customers downplay it or if they just think, well, the junk removal people are coming, so then they just add to the pile. So I think maybe it's a combination of both, that both of those things happen on occasion. So
Yeah, I can see that as well. What about, is there like an average price you would say for your projects or your clients then?
I would say the average job is around $500.
Okay. And then how long of work would you say that average job takes?
Anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 minutes loading it up.
yeah, I would say it's interesting because when we show up at a job, it doesn't take it, even if it's a full load, it doesn't take us like longer, I would say, than 20 minutes to a half hour to load up the dump truck all the way. It also depends on, if there's stairs involved and how far we're, fetching things. But typically we get it done pretty quick.
I would say most of the time in the day is sitting in the dump line and driving to the job and driving back to the dumps again.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would assume it would take like 2 to 4 hours to load. I didn't even know that. Yeah, 20, 30 minutes. That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And we stick to the easy stuff too. We don't do like rock or dirt or anything like that. We just do like junk removal, like furniture and stuff like that, and household stuff, not like landscaping stuff.
Okay. And then do you say you learned with time to like what you will accept as your job? Did you in the beginning end up picking up dirt and rocks?
Yes, definitely. And it's just most people, when they start this, you're excited when your phone rings and you got your first junk job, and you'll pretty much take anything. You'll do anything, take any job, because you're just starting out. But, you know, as you get repeat customers and your phone rings consistently, you can, you know, weed out and kind of pick the jobs you really want to do. But yeah, when we first started, we had a dirt job that we quoted, and we really underbid it. And the guy just wanted 2 inches of dirt. He wanted to lay a patio out, and 2 inches of dirt. We're like, we got that. That's easy. You know, but it was when we first started, and we didn't even have a dump trailer. It was just the utility trailer. And the dirt was like rock hard clay. And Matthew had a rototill.
I was shaking like
and
this.
I was digging. It was just the 2 of us. And I was digging and loaded up, you know, and dirt's heavy. You learn this stuff after, you know, you don't realize like how heavy dirt really is until you're shoveling it and your trailer is like getting weighted down. And then you go to the dump and you're having to like unload it again by hand. And then you get back, you have to do it again. And we didn't charge hardly anything. And we're like, we're not ever doing dirt again.
So the worst thing about that job was the guy called me back a month later to do another 2 inches off the backyard.
No more then?
Yeah, so we don't do dirt.
So we don't do dirt at all, no more.
Yeah, and rock and concrete, all that is just really, really heavy. And you can ruin your equipment. And it's not, one job's not worth you ruining your equipment over.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of like on the go learning. You don't have to learn everything right away before you start this business. Would you say that's correct then? Okay. What about like kind of like going off that, is there anything you wish you would have known before getting started with the junk removal business?
Just, I wish we would have started a lot earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually really like how we started, because some people will say, what would you do differently? And I agree with Matt. I would have just started sooner. I like how we started, because we didn't start buying, you know, something awesome and brand new that we had to make payments on. And we're stressing when our phone's not ringing because we have this big payment. You know, we saved up and just got a used truck and started with that. We really just started with the truck. And as we made money, we just invested into, you know, bigger and better things that will make your job easier. So some people, you know, they'll jump right in and do the dump truck and have this like, you know, $500 a month payment that, you know, and then if things slow down or maybe don't go well, because you really do need the population. You know, some people will try this side hustle in a little town and they'll be like, my phone's not ringing. It's like, well, you don't have people to call. You need to have a population. So we highly suggest that people don't go into debt. Don't, you know, some people will buy multiple trucks right off the bat because they just think, oh, wow, if you can make $1,000 a day with one truck, I wonder how many I can make with 3. And it's like, you know, don't run before you crawl.
Or they might start in the busy season, like in spring or summer, then all of a sudden it slows down in the wintertime. So you really got to play it smart and test the waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip, kind of going by, you know, I guess your capability too. And as you grow, maybe you buy another truck like you're mentioning, or bring on more people to expand your business.
Yeah.
What about for like, as far as insurance, is that something that you need to have to start doing junk removal? And if so, like how much does it cost?
Yeah, definitely you want to get insurance. You can get insurance through Next Insurance for liability. It runs around $40. And also for my truck, if you have decals in California, or if you have a dump truck, you got to have commercial insurance. And that runs me around $6,000 for the whole year. Okay. So you got to have insurance. You want to be legit.
Definitely. Is that $40 per month then, or is that annual as well?
$40 per month.
Okay. Is there certain like jobs that people ask if you have insurance, or is it more so you just want it for your own protection?
No, a lot of jobs will ask you, can you send proof of insurance? So we'll do that, like commercial jobs or bigger jobs. They want to know that you're a legit business, especially if you're walking in their business. They don't want to get sued or something.
Definitely, yeah. And that was going to be one of the other points I was going to bring up too. Yeah, it looks more like a legit business and not someone that, you know, is the first time doing this. So yeah, I think that's a great point right there. But yeah, one of the big questions I know we're going to get is how much money can you make in a day and in a month with a junk removal business?
So in the junk removal business, you can make anywhere from $300 a day to $3,000 to $4,500 a day. It depends on how hard you want to work and how many vehicles you have. Like if you have one vehicle, the most we ever made in one day was $4,500. And then for 1 month, the most money we ever made was $48,000 with one truck. So
Wow.
Is that
imagine
just
if you have 2 or 3 trucks out there or just one truck, that's a good living.
Yeah, that's a great living. Is it consistent money though, or is it kind of like you talked about, the spring, summer is the high point and then kind of dips down?
Well, in California, it doesn't really rain that much or snow, so we stay pretty consistent out here. But in other states where it snows, you're gonna see a slowdown for sure.
Okay, yeah, I think it's one thing to really take into consideration. Like I'm from Chicago and we get quite a bit of snow in the winter, so definitely want to take that into account. Maybe it's not the best time to start in the winter then.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So we know how much you could potentially make. What about your expenses? Is it all profit? I know you have to have some expenses.
So our overhead isn't that much because we don't rent a building. We don't have to pay for PG&E and water and all that stuff. So really, the insurance is $40 a month. The commercial insurance is $500 a month for the truck. The truck payment is around $500. I actually put $30,000 down on the dump truck. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it ran $64,000 in 2019. But right now, as we speak, they are $96,000.
Wow.
So they're a lot more expensive, but you don't need to start that way. You can start with just a pickup truck. And then gas, I'm spending about $500 a week. And then advertising, we're spending $0. Maybe every once in a while we might boost an ad, but we haven't advertised really and paid for anything for probably about 3 months. And then really the main thing is you got to pay your dump fees. Dump fees can be anywhere from $200 to $400 a day, depending on how busy you are in our area.
Then is it per load? Do you weigh your truck before you dump and then after? And then is that how they calculate it, just off the weight then?
Yeah, in the state of California, in Sonoma County, we're paying $130 a ton. So what happens is you roll up to the scale, they weigh you in, you dump the stuff, you hop back on the scale, and they weigh you out, and then you pay the bill.
Okay. What about, would you say there's like a certain percentage that is profit off your total revenue? Would you say maybe it's like half after all of your expenses, insurance, gas, or is the margin even more?
I would say we make more than half.
Yeah, it's more than half.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much me, the JoJo, and we have one employee right now.
Okay. When did you add the other employee?
He's been with us for, what, a year and a half? But he's going to go full-time with us starting in January.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was you two to begin with for the first 3 years, and then added someone part-time for a year, and now he's about to go full-time.
About to go full-time, yeah.
Okay. And then say for the first year or two, how many hours a week would you say on average you guys spent for your business?
So pretty much I like to start the day at 8 o'clock and be done by 2. It doesn't always happen like that. Some days we work till 4 or 5 o'clock. Some days we're done by noon. So pretty much anywhere from a 6 to 10-hour day. But when we get home, we still got to advertise. We still got to send invoices out. We still got to answer emails. So I'd say probably about 60 to 70 hours a week. Running a business, you got to put in a lot of work. But then also we have freedom where we take a week off, whenever we want. So
yeah.
Definitely, yeah. And it's nice that I'm sure that gives you the flexibility. So if you want to go on vacation or see family, you have that opportunity too then.
Oh yeah, it's the best thing in the world.
So what about, I'm someone that's listening to this and I'm very excited to start my own, junk removal business. Who would you recommend not to try this side hustle?
So not to try this side hustle.
Let's see. Well, it's physical labor. So, you have to be okay with like getting in there and getting it done. It's definitely not an office set down and, but I mean, really anybody that wants to grind and wants to make money, they should do it. It's hard.
Unless you're in a small populated area, like in the country or something like that, it will be more difficult. I wouldn't do it unless you're going to advertise your business in a bigger county where there's more people.
Yeah.
Okay.
You definitely it needs to be somebody that lives in a good population or at least close to a big city.
And obviously you don't want your grandma that's 75 years old out there trying to haul junk either. So
And then also another point, would you say kind of comes back to what you mentioned previously is, you have to have the hustle to do this. If you're someone that's lazy, doesn't want to pick up the phone, or too lazy to do the junk removal, would you say this is not the type of person that should be doing this side hustle then?
Right, right. And picking up your phone is actually one of the most important things, because when a person's looking for junk removal, that they either Google searched it or they looked it up on their phone, and they're going to call whoever pops up. And if you don't answer the phone, they're just going to go to the next one. So you definitely want to be a person that's going to answer your phone.
Yeah, that's a great tip right there, because even myself, when I'm looking for, say, a contractor, a plumber, or someone, I'll go down the list from the highest reviews, and if they don't pick up, yeah, it's a great little tip right there. What about, for one of our last questions, like, what is the first, 3 steps you would say that someone should take today if they want to start the business?
So go ahead.
Oh, I would say the number one thing you want to do is figure out your name. Get your name. I was going to say create a Google My Business, but you need to have your name first. So the first thing is come up with your name, and make sure junk removal is in that name. Some people forget that little part. And if you want to be searched online, junk removal should be in your name. And then after you've come up with the name, definitely a Google My Business, because that is how people will leave you reviews. That's super important, and they'll just find you online. And let's face it, everybody looks online for everything, so they're either typing it in or they're talking to their phone. Junk removal near me. So you need to Google My Business,
and that's where most of our business comes from, is Google My Business and Facebook, pretty much.
Yeah, and create even if you're saving up for a truck, because this is what we did. If you're saving up for your truck, you're going to start this, and you can't yet because you don't have your truck or what's lined up for you with that. Make sure that you go ahead and create all your social media platforms and get those ready. So you can do your Google My Business, you could do your Facebook, you could do your Instagram, you can even start your website, start designing your website and get it all ready, and your Yelp, and just have all that ready before you even start. So you just look like a really established business before you even turn the key in the truck, because that's what we did.
And something you definitely want to do too is make sure you look professional and clean with a uniform when you show up to jobs. Even if you just started and you only been in the business for a week, spend $20 on a t-shirt, spend $15 on a hat, and look professional when you show up, because you'll land more jobs and you can charge more money that way.
Okay, and I feel like kind of sum it up, it just comes down to being proactive about it, and thinking what the next step is before someone calls you and asks for your service then. So just kind of wrapping everything up, I think we definitely learned a lot here, but what is some final tips you have for someone that's looking to get started?
So the best tip I got for you guys is, if you want to start this business, is do a lot of research online. Check out YouTube. We got a bunch of videos on YouTube, how to start a business, how to run a junk removal business. So check us out. And there's a whole lot of other junk removal companies out there that do YouTube too. And you can get a lot of tips. And that's what we did when we first started. We watched a bunch of YouTube videos every single day.
Yeah, because really on our channel, it walks you through so much: how to advertise for free, how to increase SEO, how to start this as a side hustle, how to make it be your main hustle, how to make the most money possible in doing this. And it also covers a lot of just things that we learned along the way. And then you can listen to us, and you don't have to, you just know before you go.
All right, and yeah, we'll definitely be leaving links down below to any of the viewers to your channel, so if they want to learn more, kind of like you guys said, more great advice and tips, and I guess avoid some of the headaches, they can check it out down below. But just want to thank you two for spending the time today to help myself and our viewers learn more about junk removal business. So thank you.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for having us.
All right, take care now. All right, bye.